Hey, what's up everybody? ESAM here bringing you another video. This one going to be the next to last episode of my Pikachu matchup chart. It has been quite a while. This time I will be going over the tier that you see of I'm not sure where they are, as well as 50-50s, and one matchups that I actually forgot. And this is like, I had this list before like this, so I actually forgot to go over this little character called Pit right here, so I'm gonna go over that matchup really quick before I get into the other ones, so let us continue. So Pit, I think is 55-45, mostly because, again, Pikachu just gets more off of a hit than Pit does, so their neutral is about even, maybe slightly Pit's favor, but Pikachu can keep Pit in the air a lot easier than vice versa, although it is scary to land on Pit due to the fact that he has an amazing dash attack, an amazing dash grab, and an up smash that can anti-air the hell out of you, so it is somewhat tricky to land as Pika. You know, I feel like the killing is pretty even. Pit has a kill throw if you grab at the edge at like 130. Pikachu has up throw Thunder. Pit has up smash out of shield, which is a really strong option and scoops kind of from the ground. Whereas Pikachu also has up smash out of shield, but because Pit has a sword, it's going to be less likely that he's like right next to you doing something that you can punish with an up smash. So the killing's about even, but Pikachu does get a lot off of every hit and can edgeguard Pit as long as you kind of dissuade him from being around the area where he can side B to recover. You know, you can just repetitively hit his up B over and over again. So you can get like 30-40%, let him back on stage. You know, you can ledge trap him fairly easily in my opinion. Like, it's not like Pit's not the best character at getting back on the ledge because he doesn't really have any threatening ledge hop aerials. And again, because even though he has multiple jumps, Pikachu is fast enough that you can just kind of chase him if he like ledge jumps and then like starts jumping in the middle of the air. Even if he can land on a platform, you can still chase him with up air, keep him in the air, make it obnoxious for him to get back to the ground, which is clearly where Pit wants to be because that is his strongest suit. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Just even-ish neutral. Pikachu gets more damage off a hit. Pikachu can edgeguard better. And the killing is about even. So I think slight Pika, you know, it definitely could be an even matchup, but I do think it is 55-45 Pikachu. So next I'm going to go into the not sure category. So all 5 of these characters I'm actually not sure if they are in 50-50 or 55-45 for reasons I will explain. So Rosalina, I'm not sure what this matchup is because, you know, you think about it and, you know, I put this here before Dabuzz, or I beat Dabuzz at Smashadelphia. So this was a really close matchup because I always felt like Pikachu has a bunch of tools that work really well against Rosalina, whether it be repetitive edge guarding, whether it be a safe forwarder that can hit Luma and kill her, whether it's just the ability to kill Luma fairly easily, the really strong kill moves, you know, the fact that Pikachu is short so he can be obnoxious. However, Rosalina, you know, controls the tempo of the game. It's really hard to camp versus Rosa because of the fact that she can either gravitational pull it or thunder jolts or like run up and up air. So both characters have a bunch of tools, and the reason I felt like I kept losing to Dabuzz and Kirihara is I feel like they are better players than me. So, you know, you think of a matchup and you go, okay, well, this is, you know, supposed to be players of even skill playing with these two characters, knowing the matchup equally, what's going to happen. So I feel like, you know, Dabuzz and Kirihara are better players than me, so me losing to them doesn't necessarily, you know, show that the matchup's bad for Pikachu, and I really have never thought that. You know, it's always just discouraging. Like, I started using Mewtwo for a little bit, but then I realized I don't really like dying, and it made me realize that Pikachu has a lot of control, you know, not like control, but his disadvantage isn't nearly as poor as many of the other characters that Rosalina fights, so Rosalina won't get as much off a hit against Pikachu and vice versa. You know, he has a bunch of different ledge options, so it's hard for Rosalina to kind of ledge trap Pikachu, which is a really, really big deal because that can be a lot of damage that Rosalina can get, or even a kill, although she still can get kills, obviously. But Pikachu, you know, fast, small, annoying, obviously up throw Thunder is a big deal. Fair up smash works really well on Rosalina because of the fact that she's very light. You know, it is kind of hard to tech chase her because she has a very, very far tech roll, but at the same time, I don't know, it's just when you have Rosalina in disadvantage or in a scary position, it's really hard for her to get out of it because her landing options are all fairly mediocre because they all pretty much have lag, and if you like throw out an aerial about when you expect them to, you should be able to hit Rosa and ping with Luma if Luma's even there, so you should be fine on that regard. So that's how you do that. You can kind of like throw out a lot of things like right before she lands, and you can get a lot of hits on that, and again, it should ping Luma, so you should be fine. Obviously, you have to time it really, really well. You know, it's pretty hard for Rosa, in my opinion, to get off the edge against Pikachu as long as Pikachu throws in a few trumps to make it uncomfortable staying on the ledge for a long time. Because obviously, if you don't do that, then if you forward air or down air anticipating ledge jump or neutral get up, Rosalina can either wait and then hit you for it, or like roll on and potentially get away. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been getting better at edgeguarding this character. You know, I threw Dabuz off stage at like 40, and he died from like a nair, jabs, a nair, and a back air. So like that's just kind of the thing that can happen in this matchup. Keeping Rosalina in disadvantage is really good for Pika. I still don't know if it's 50-50 or 55-45. Probably right now leaning more towards 50-50. I do not think this is a disadvantaged matchup at all. But yeah, so I would say not sure where this matchup is. I want to keep playing Dabuz more. I want to play Kirihara more, so I can really get a feel on like the character attributes of this matchup. Yeah, in general. So next I want to talk about Charizard. So Charizard, you know, this character is just really obnoxious for Pikachu. He's really strong, he has a lot of range, and you can't keep him in disadvantage for forever because of the fact that he has multiple super armor moves that can kill you if you swing into them incorrectly. So that's really problematic. You know, you can't forward air safely on shield because Charizard's grab goes really, really far, so you have to be spacing absolutely perfectly and moving backwards and get your fast fall literally frame perfect, or he will be able to shield grab you, which is really problematic because, you know, if he dashes in a little too far and you can't space it anymore, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to get punished. Even though it's nickel and diming here and there, you know, he does have throw combos. It is pretty hard to edge guard him due to the fact that he has super armor on his up B, and it's a really scary move to mess with in general, so you can't really edge guard him super efficiently, although you can ledge trap him pretty efficiently in my opinion. You know, the damage output, Pikachu's is going to be slightly higher maybe, just because Charizard doesn't really have a lot of combos. It's more like a nickel and dime type of thing. They're like, oh, down throw forward air type of thing. So, you know, you can get good at hitting Charizard's landings, but it's always scary because of the fact that it's like, oh, well, he hasn't thrown out Rock Smash for 4 times, so I don't think he's going to do it. Oh, whoops, he Rock Smashed me. I took 25% because I get hit by the headbutt and then a bunch of the shards. So it's kind of scary. You know, I'm leaning more towards 55-45, but you know, the fact that Charizard has a kill throw, I feel like Charizard's good on every stage that Pikachu is good on other than Lilac Cruise. So if he bans that, you know, Pikachu doesn't really have a comfortable place to counterpick him to because I don't really like FD in the matchup. Triplats are really good for Charizard. Town and City obviously favors Charizard. So, you know, I feel like probably Smashville is the best stage that Pikachu is going to get in this matchup. It's still scary. You can get your, you know, your strings like off the platform, like forward airs and stuff like that. You know, because Charizard is heavy, you can combo him decently well as long as you are aware, like when it's too low for it to combo, because then he can just mash up out of your combo and potentially kill you. You know, I've actually struggled a lot versus random Charizards. You know, I've never played Sharpizard, but Blood Cross took me to game 3. There was one other Charizard. Oh, when I played Chuck Nasty at the last time, or not the last time I played him because he went Bowser, but the time before that, you know, I won 3-0, but it was very, very close. And in my opinion, I'm better than both of those Charizards, so I'm not really sure what this matchup is. I don't have a lot of experience in it, which is probably one of the reasons that I'm not super good at it. But yeah, still leaning towards 55-45. I'll probably just need to learn how to play more careful in this matchup and really learn when things are and aren't true on Charizard. So it's kind of just, it's an awkward matchup, similar to this next matchup, which is going to be Yoshi. So Yoshi, you know, I've had altering success here and there. You know, I just beat Raptor at Smash Adelphia 3-1, but that was also, I was losing by like 50% in one game, and I got a lucky footstool off of like a weird little setup. So that was a thing. You know, I lost to Sky 3-0 in a money match when we played at Genesis. You know, and I think I've beat I've beat Raptor before, and I don't really think I've played many other Yoshis in tournament, other than like the very beginning of the game, which obviously that doesn't count anymore. You know, Yoshi and Pikachu have a lot of similar tools, and so they're going to be in the same place a lot, and I feel like, you know, Yoshi's do more off of a single hit, and because he's kind of like slippery and he has a good double jump, Pikachu can't really keep Yoshi in disadvantage very well, so that's something that's very important is, you know, Pikachu's going to be the one nickel and diming in this matchup, although Yoshi will as well, but Yoshi's moves generally do more percent than Pikachu, so the damage output's going to be, in my opinion, probably even, because Pikachu will get like a 2 to 3 hit combo, Yoshi will get like a 1 hit combo, right? But that damage is probably going to be about even. Yoshi, the thing about Yoshi is if you are at high percent, you can just shield and he won't be able to kill you very reliably if you just, you know, react to the down throw with DI out, or just, you know, preemptively DI out so you can't get up aired. It's just a scary matchup in general. Yoshi can harass Pikachu off stage as well with eggs and forward air. You know, it's fairly easy to get 2 frames for Yoshi because its snout like goes through the stage, which is somewhat problematic. So you can get edge guarded like that. Not going to be edge guarded as hard as, let's say, other characters, just because of the fact that it's like, oh, you know, Pikachu can alter his recovery timings a lot, so Yoshi's not really going to be going out there. But I feel like in this matchup, Pikachu is the one that has to approach because Yoshi has the better projectile and can use it better in the air, and is so it's kind of awkward because I feel like Pikachu has to approach. Yoshi's defensive tools in this matchup are very good, but if Pikachu is winning, it's kind of difficult for Yoshi to come back. So honestly, I'm going to put this matchup at even 50-50, or that's what more I'm leaning towards, but I don't know. I don't have enough experience in this matchup to know. You know, hopefully I can play Raptor more. Hopefully I can play the wall and destroy him because I don't like him. Hopefully I can beat Sky or play Sky again if the next time I go to SoCal, if he goes to the tournament. You know, I'd love to get more matchup experience with this because it's really awkward, but, you know, I do think Pikachu has the possibility to win, but right now I'm going to put it as, you know, I'm leaning more towards 50-50. Next, you know, probably the second most the relevant character in this group, which is going to be Fox. So Fox is a character that Pikachu hits Fox once, and he takes him for a ride. I have 0 to death almost every single Fox that I've ever played sometime during a set. You know, I've obviously 0 to death Larry the last time he played. I've 0 to death the Kill Sage. I've 0 to death, you know, all the ones in South Florida, whether it be Eden or Kazu, Vitamin, or Zurak. So, like, all these different Foxes have got 0 to death. Pikachu's combo strings on Fox are absolutely ridiculous. However, Fox is really fast and it's kind of hard to react to his neutral, so a lot of the times you are going to be guessing in terms of like, oh, what's more worth it to risk getting hit by? Is it worth getting hit by dash attack or dash grab? The answer is always dash grab, by the way, just so you guys know, because you typically only will get comboed at low percent, so if you're scared of something, you know, make sure that you're going to shield. Fox has a lot of trouble dealing with shield, in my opinion. Honestly, I am leading this matchup towards 55-45 because I have had more success versus Foxes recently. Obviously, I haven't played Larry's more than I'm still 1 in like 6 with Larry, but I'm starting to learn the matchup a little better, got my combo strings. I'm learning to edge guard a little bit better, which is very important because that's obviously Fox's weakest part, is getting back on stage, and Pikachu can punish Fox's recoveries very, very well because down air will always beat up air. You can actually get fair spikes on it, you can get back air trades, you can just nair him out repetitively, and then once he starts going far enough out where he can't side B to the edge, you know, he side B fall up B and you'll always down air it back out, and the side B typically will not be able to reach at those percents, so you just do that over and over again until he dies. You know, I really like this matchup. It's really fun for me, and I've started learning like a bunch of ways to get out, get out of advantage or his advantage state a little bit easier. So, you know, I've been SDIing up early combos, never air dodging, just so it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get hit by 2 or 3 up airs, but I'm not gonna get hit by up air into I air dodged into up tilt up air into I air dodged into up air, something like that. So I'll just SDI up, get out of the combo as fast as I can, get back to neutral. I know Pikachu can do so much damage. You can obviously get about 60%, 70% off of a grab at 0. It's really problematic for Fox. You know, if you start punishing him for his dash attacks, you know, getting airs out of shield, back airs out of shield, you can set up for really early jab locks because Fox is such a fast faller that a lot of moves will still put him into jab lock scenarios, and that's actually how I got one of the games versus Larry. I back him out of shield at like 42% and he just died because I did back air landing hitbox, you know, dash, jab, 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 forward smash, and he just died because I had like 90 rage or something like that. So I am putting this matchup at 55-45 more recently. I'm learning how to juggle Fox a little better. I'm learning how to get out of disadvantage a little easier. You know, I feel like one of Fox's strongest suits is edge trapping, but that doesn't really work on Pikachu just because quick attack is obnoxious, so he has like a whole other thing that he has to pay attention to, which is really difficult for him. And I mean, yeah, so I think the matchup, still not sure, want more experience, because obviously the gap between like the high level Foxes and the top level Foxes is ginormous. So, you know, I can really only get, you know, super top level matchup experience against Larry's or even Voids or something like that. And I want more experience. It's a really fun matchup for me to play. I've started liking it a lot. Fox is busted, but I do think this matchup is at this point slightly Pikachu, but I'm still not 100% sure. I'm not sold either way. Last on this list is going to be Villager. So Villager, this matchup's just awkward. You know, I thought it was pretty easy to edgeguard Villager. I have edgeguarded pretty much every Villager somewhat easily, but then I played Renai at CEO, and he was able to get around my edgeguards so well. I only got 1 kill off of an edgeguard. I didn't even get that much damage in general off of him off stage. So the on stage, you know, I still agree that it is in Pikachu's favor because you can kind of crouch and he can't hit you with any slingshots unless he runs off stage and does like a forward air or back, or I guess back air, right? So he has to like run off stage and do a back air in order to hit you with a slingshot. But you know, playing off stage is kind of weird. You know, if you are close enough that you can react to a Lloyd, you can always run up and nair it or run up and dash grab it. But Renai made his timing so ambiguous and it was really hard to react to anything. So I would always be like, okay, well, he didn't do this 5 times, so let me, you know, prepare for something else. Oh, he shot out the Lloyd. I wasn't able to react to it because I wasn't ready for it. So it's definitely one of those matchups I feel like you have to play very, very reactionary. I am going to put this matchup at 50-50 because the last 2 times I played Renai, who was, in my opinion, very close skill level of mine, you know, every single game pretty much was last hit, and while he did win both encounters, I do think, you know, it's like, oh, I got a little bit antsy for the edge guards, oh, I got a little bit antsy to get out of disadvantage, I got hit by turnips. So that was me not playing my cool as opposed to Pikachu's fault. So I think that it would be 50-50 is like what I'm leaning towards now. I could definitely imagine if I get better at edge guarding Villager, you know, hitting the double balloons, hitting him all the way out there. It could be a 55-45 Pikachu, but I am going to put it at even for now, just because like Villager's damage output is really, like, if you're losing against Villager, it is so obnoxious to bring it back, but vice versa. If Pikachu is winning, it's really hard for Villager to bring it back. You know, we both have like equal amounts of jank pretty much, because I can get like a fair footstool or like a double balloon pop, whereas he can get like a tree or a bowling ball, and bowling ball is actually fairly easy to get on Pikachu just because of, you know, how quick attack works. So it's pretty easy to get 2 frames with it, which is unfortunate, but I don't think I really got hit by many against Renai either time, so that's pretty important. Yeah, so I mean, just a bunch of good stuff that both characters have. You know, Pikachu's kind of worse at juggling Villager than most characters because the threat of turnips is so huge and they do so much damage, especially if it's a triple turnip. So you can't really juggle him super comfortably. You have to go from like the side, but again, turnips is so big. So for the most part, you're going to have to like guessing when Villager's going to throw out an aerial and either preempt it or punish it on landing, which is still very difficult. You know, Villager's pretty short, so some Pikachu things don't work. You know, a lot of the combos on both ends are pretty awkward for each other to hit because we're both small and both kind of light. So it's kind of just it's just a weird matchup. You know, but I would definitely say right now I'm leaning more towards 50-50, but I can imagine it evolving into 55-45 Pikachu as it progresses. And now we can go on to the 50-50 matchups. First off, starting with Sonic. So Sonic is a character that is very much a who gets the first stock will win the set. That has pretty much happened versus every single Sonic I have ever played. You know, I feel like Pikachu is a little bit better at making comebacks than vice versa, just because Pikachu's advantage state is a lot scarier than Sonic's. Because Sonic is more like a hit you once, I hope you get aggressive, hit you again, whereas Pikachu can kind of just like punish landings a little bit easier, and also the fact that, you know, Pikachu has quick attack to get out of disadvantage against Sonic is really, really important. You know, but I played Wrath, and I took first stock game 1, and I timed him out, and then he took first stock game 2, and he beat me because I got over aggressive because I didn't want to get timed out. I'd rather just lose to him punishing me. You know, game 3, I was winning, and then I accidentally grabbed the ledge a second time by accident, and he forward smashed me forward. I died at like 70, and he won the game. And then game 4, when I played him, he got the first stock, even though I had a big lead because he got like a pretty early up air kill, and then he won. So it's very much a first stock dictates who wins the game, and I feel like both characters are equally good at taking the first stock, because Pikachu can you know, make it a little bit awkward for Sonic to camp, because Thunder Jolt's, you know, running with it, he has to either shield or start spin dashing, in which case if he starts the spin dash, you can down air and then hit like in front of it where it won't be invulnerable anymore. Although, you know, he can obviously like run up and shield your T-Jolt, so you don't really get that offensive pressure, but at the same time, if he shields the T-Jolt like all the way far back, then, you know, you're not scared to spin dash, and he can't punish the down air from that range anyway, so it's pretty much going to be just like a guess over and over again, and both characters get about equal amounts of damage for guessing, right, in my opinion. The one thing that I don't like about this matchup as Pikachu's favor, or rather in terms of from the Pikachu perspective, is it's really hard to grab Sonic, because obviously the threat of just releasing spin dash makes it kind of scary to grab, because you're going to take like 15 or 20 for going for a grab. Granted, if you get the grab, that's about how much percent you'll be getting at mid percents, but either way, like, it's kind of scary. So again, unless you get a read on the like with the T-Jolt run with it, I actually need to do that more, because I actually didn't do that often, which is pretty problematic. So yeah, running with T-Jolt, definitely one of Pikachu's best approach options in this matchup, because it forces Sonic to pick an option, whether it's shield, roll away, roll in, or release the spin dash, and Pikachu can punish any of those if you're reacting correctly. So I mean, in my opinion, that's like a really, really big deal. 50-50, he obviously has kill throws. Pikachu doesn't have up throw thunder guaranteed on Sonic. Sonic is the other character that it does not work on, but obviously the characters that it doesn't work on, being Sonic and Diddy, you can still get a 50-50 with them, whether they're going to air dodge immediately or not, and obviously if they don't air dodge immediately, they get hit by like the normal combo, and if they do air dodge immediately, you get the double jump thunder read and get like the bolt and the blue, and it'll still kill pretty early. I feel like a lot of Pikachu's kills, honestly, in this matchup come from ledge trapping. So like, you know, you get Sonic at 90 and you kind of throw him off stage, and then you know, force him to grab the ledge, don't really let him recover high, and then, you know, get a down air, get a nair, get a forward smash read on like a roll or something, or like, you know, even get a grab and then maybe like an up throw thunder 50-50, but all your kills, in my opinion, will be coming from off edge, off stage, or, you know, if they do something really egregious and they mess up, and then you like can like up smash for them, but that's not really going to happen for the most part versus Sonics that are playing safe. So in my opinion, pretty equal in terms of most of what they can do, the damage output, the killing, you know, the neutral, whoever gets the first stock will more than likely be winning. So if you get that first stock as either character, you're probably good, probably set for the game. Next, I want to talk about Lucas. So Lucas is an obnoxious character. You know, he's very small. He controls the space in front of you very well. The threat of grab is absolutely huge. He gets huge damage off of a grab, and you know, it's fairly lagless, so it's somewhat obnoxious to actually punish them unless you're like super ready for it. So it's kind of problematic because I feel like Lucas controls the neutral in this matchup fairly heavily. Like one of, honestly, the character that probably controls the neutral against Pikachu the best, obviously as we're getting closer to even, right? Like that makes sense. You know, Pikachu can, the saving grace in this matchup, and the reason I still put it as even, is because it is really, really difficult for Lucas once he gets hit to get back into neutral, because his aerial mobility is like good, but it's not necessarily as good as Ness's, who we'll cover a little later. You know, it's a little easier to punish his air dodges, it's a little easier to punish his landing aerials because they're significantly less threatening. You know, Lucas can't really get off the ledges easily because, you know, he has like his ledge hop, air dodge, and then like only normal things. But again, since his ledge jump isn't that great in this matchup, I feel like, you know, it's less of an option, so it's less scary to have to cover it immediately. You know, Lucas obviously does have the kill advantage because he has the easy down throw up air, he has obviously kill throws, he has random smash attacks, but again, not really gonna get ledge trapped. Pikachu won't really be, just because you can like ledge hop, air dodge, and then quick attack to a platform, which I mean can be read. Obviously, Poison Health, the Lucas I played at Smash and Splash, read one of those with an up smash, and I died at like 85%, so that was kind of scary. You know, I definitely could see this matchup being maybe evolving. Again, I don't know the matchup like pretty much at all. I have very, very little experience. I could imagine it being 45-55, so slightly in Lucas's favor. But for right now, I think it's going to be 50-50 just because the game of Pikachu right now is starting to evolve into hit your opponent once, not necessarily combo them to death, but keep them in disadvantage as long as possible, and Pikachu is very, very good at doing that to Lucas specifically. Not a lot of good disjointed hitboxes below him. Obviously, he does have down air and up air, or rather down air and neutral air, but if you trade with that, you're going to be winning in terms of both damage and positioning, so that's fine by me. You know, you do have to be careful when trying to close out stocks. Typically, you're going to have to wait for Lucas to like overextend or get something, or like mess up pretty much, and then you're going to like get a grab, like up throw thunder, or like a down tilt tech chase into up smash or something like that. Or, you know, obviously you can get your ledge traps, and you can edge guard Lucas. It's less scary than against Ness. Obviously, his PK Thunder is significantly less disjointed as he's flying, so as long as he's not super close, you know, you can pressure where his tether is, similar to the other tether characters that I've talked about. And then if he has to go far in PK Thunder, you just kind of like, okay, well, you want to go about at this angle, so let me put a down air about here, and then you should be able to hit him back out over and over and over again. Get a decent amount of percent, maybe not kill him, but obviously if he goes far enough, then you can just kind of like grab the ledge, see where he's going, drop down, thunder him, you know, either kill him or just get the spike. Just depending on the timing, because Pikachu Spike sometimes just does that. And so yeah, you can get edge guarding on Pikachu or on Lucas, whereas Lucas can't really get that on Pikachu. He obviously can two-frame you with down smash, but again, Pikachu has a lot of variation in terms of how he can recover, and he can even go under the stage, so it's not going to be particularly easy for him to do that, whereas Pikachu's edge guarding on Lucas is, in my opinion, fairly easy as long as you can cover the tether spaces. That's pretty much going to be the main thing. So yeah, the damage output, I feel like when you get a hit, Pikachu's favor, although Lucas's combos are a bit easier, but you can SDI out of a lot of the Nair things, unless they have the footstools down pat, but I've never played a Lucas that has the footstools down pat. I've never played Taihada, so for the most part, they go for like down throw Nair, they CI SDI out of it, then the next time they just go for down throw forward or down throw up air, things like that. So yeah, definitely there are things that I could see making this matchup 45-55 in terms of putting it in Lucas's advantage, but right now I don't really see that. You know, there's no, like, I feel like definitive reason to put it there, so I am going to put it at 50-50, along with this next other blonde character, which is going to be Peach. So Peach, very similar to Sonic, I feel like whoever is winning immediately just controls all of the pace, because neither character is particularly good at approaching the other one. Peach's approach options fairly lackluster. She pretty much will just want to like float and down air, but if you're, you know, playing passive enough and you crawl backwards and you see a forward air, you can just, or rather a float down air, you can just kind of forward air it from the side, get damage, continue things. Pikachu actually has a lot of footstool combos on Peach because she's like a perfect floatiness, so if you get like an up tilted 0, Pikachu gets about like 50 or 60%, which is actually huge. Peach's combos are actually insane as well. You know, because Pikachu is light, if Peach has a lot of rage, you can get down tilt slash down air to parasol jank, which is definitely a really, really scary part of this matchup. You know, I feel like both characters do struggle to kill one another because Peach is typically going to have to land like a forward air or a back air, which again, if she misses them, you know, Pikachu can punish with an up smash or things like that. But so it's like, it works both ways. You know, Peach has a kill throw at like 130 or so, but Pikachu has up throw thunder. You know, as long as you know the stages in this matchup, and I finally learned the stages playing with Mudace enough, I do not like FD in this matchup. I feel like Smashville is pretty good in the matchup because of the threat of, you know, just chic, like Smashville comboing, like forwarder all the way off. which is really scary for Peach to deal with. At the same time, you know, a lot of Peach's kills will come from reads on the ledge, and if the platform is there, you know, that's significantly less likely to happen because you can always just quick attack back to the platform, makes it another like really hard area for Peach to cover. And if she does cover that and she guesses wrong, you will typically get like a neutral get up into like just punishing her. Now she's off stage, and while Pikachu can't really get a lot of edge guards for kills, edge trapping Peach is somewhat efficient. Just like you're pretty much gonna have to look out for ledge hop forward airs and then like ledge jumping neutral get up, because I feel like the roll isn't really gonna happen, and neither is get up attack, because they do have like ledge jump, float cancel, fast fall, like shield, which is really fast. But as long as you have like your lingering hitboxes out and you throw in a few trumps now and then, you should be fine when it comes to edge pressure. And Pikachu obviously does have quick attack, as well as most of Pikachu's things, so it is difficult for Peach to cover it, but the reward when she guesses right, if Pikachu is at like 85 or 90%, is so big that like Pikachu's always going to be scared in that position. But I feel like the more passive Pikachu plays, the better he does in it. So, you know, I'm not super fan of this matchup, but I think it might start evolving into more 55-45 Pikachu. You know, I want to play Samsora again because the matchup experience that I've got recently against Mutace, you know, Mutace is really talented, but not the best Peach. In my opinion, Samsora is the best Peach, and I want to play him more. You know, when I went to Japan, I did relatively well versus all the Peaches I played there, being mostly Umeki, but he's really good. But I won the majority of the games. I win the majority of the games versus Mutace. You know, I had Mewtwo as a crutch before, but now I'm going to be sticking out as just Pika. So I think Pikachu has a lot of tools in this matchup to do fine, but it is still scary because Peach hits like a truck. So it's definitely one of those matchups that gets in your own head, but that's not necessarily representative of how it is in the game itself, you know what I'm saying? Next is going to be a matchup, you know, the two last people are actually Pokemon battles, so Greninja and Mewtwo. So they're bad for different reasons. So Greninja, I feel like the neutral is kind of weird. I feel like Greninja controls the pace of the match because he's a little bit faster overall ground speed. You know, his shurikens are better than Pikachu's Thunder Jolt. And the fact that Greninja, you know, is so fast and slippery, it's kind of hard for Pikachu to ever pin him down and really keep him, you know, in disadvantage. You know, the fact that Greninja has down air to reach to like always fear in Greninja's in disadvantage. Like if you shield it, you know, unlike let's say Bowser's or any other stall and fall where if you shield it down you can punish them, Greninja will like bounce off your shield and be safe, which is somewhat obnoxious. He can land safely with like retreating forward airs, retreating back airs. You know, so it's somewhat obnoxious to keep Greninja in disadvantage. Greninja obviously has like crazy footstool combos on Pikachu, or just on every character, but it's very difficult for him to consistently get those, whereas Pikachu's combos are going to be a bit more easy, but, you know, a lot less rewarding than Greninja's. And again, because I mentioned the fact that Greninja gets at a disadvantage fairly easily in this matchup, makes it somewhat difficult for Pikachu to really like continue to get a bunch of like big damage from like one opening. You know, your biggest damage, in my opinion, in this matchup is going to be from when Greninja is trying to get back on stage, recovering, and just, you know, trying to get back off the edge is going to be really difficult for Greninja to do. You can get a lot of damage off of that because I feel like Greninja's ledge options aren't really the best. So Pikachu can, you know, consistently get like down airs, neutral airs, forward throws back off stage. You know, as long as you pressure him high, you know, because Greninja does have a weakness to the spot like down and in front of him, in my opinion, when he's kind of like falling. You know, it is possible for Pikachu to like abuse that range, but it's still kind of scary. It's just a really slippery character. This crazy fast fall speed makes it somewhat difficult to predict where Greninja is going to be. It's kind of hard to react, so you have to preemptively throw things out and kind of hope it works. You know, fast fall air dodge goes so far, really hard for Pikachu to cover unless, you know, you were super ready for it, and you're being very, you know, generous with how much space you're giving him, in which case he can just kind of, you know, up B to the other side of the stage with relatively little lag, you know, make it, you know, somewhat annoying for Pikachu to punish that. It's kind of obnoxious. You know, Greninja's edge guarding, or Greninja can actually edge guard Pikachu due to the fact that he has water to make, you know, skull bashing and quick attack a lot less safe, similar to, let's say, a Mario Flood. Something that I've started doing against Greninja is honestly just like falling, air dodging low, skull bashing really low, and then trying to recover from there, like up against the stage, because it's pretty hard to get the water hitboxes there, or even go to the other side of the stage where Greninja's not covering. But yeah, so the neutral's kind of awkward. I feel like Greninja controls the pace, but that doesn't necessarily mean he wins neutral. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to describe it better than that. You know, I feel like Greninja has the damage output general thing, but Pikachu's better at punishing Greninja's disadvantage just by a little bit, because Greninja can't really punish Pikachu's disadvantage unless he gets lucky with a up B read or something, and then you're like falling and you're like, oh, well, I'm screwed because I'm going to get punished for whatever. I feel like the killing is actually heavily in Pikachu's favor, which is something I have not talked about yet, just because I feel like if you get past like down tilt up smash % range for Greninja, he can't really kill you until he gets a grab. But again, Greninja's dash grab really bad, so it's kind of difficult for Greninja to ever land one of those, especially against someone as, you know, fast and evasive as Pikachu. So if you get past like the 1 like the 100% range, you should be fine, you know, get dying. Like, you just have to watch out for like random YOLO smash attacks and forward air, and that's pretty much going to be his main ways to kill you. But at the same time, Pikachu has, obviously, since Greninja's fast faller, down tilt is super effective versus that, as well as, you know, just general tech traps, Prat Falls, things like that. Up Throw Thunder is really good versus Greninja because even though he's a fast faller, he's relatively light, so he will, you know, the range is pretty big and he dies for like a large percentage of his range compared to most of the cast. So I think, you know, Pikachu can outkill Greninja. The edge guarding is in Pikachu's favor. So yeah, I would definitely say this is a 50-50 matchup. I don't have much experience in this matchup at all. I would love to get more, but Greninjas are pretty rare nowadays, especially if you don't live in Japan. So, you know, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to get a lot of matchup experience, but I definitely think this matchup is even. Could go either way, definitely. You know, the only really good Greninja I've ever played is Eye Studying, and that was a Game 5 scenario where like I was winning so much Game 4 and I kind of like blew a big lead. You know, should've, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda type stuff, but I do think this matchup is 50-50. Really obnoxious on both ends, to be honest. And last, but certainly not least, is going to be Mewtwo. So the big thing about this matchup is the fact that Mewtwo outkills Pikachu, which is a big deal. You know, obviously the fact that he has an amazing up throw. If you have Mewtwo at 100, Mewtwo's up throw will probably kill Pikachu at like 90%, 92%, something like that. And Pikachu, I mean, to be fair, Pikachu does have up throw Thunder percents at similar percents that Mewtwo will get up throw, but, you know, up throw doesn't stop killing, whereas up throw Thunder stops connecting, although it is a 50-50 later percents where up throw Thunder doesn't work. You know, the reason this matchup is, or the best thing for Mewtwo in this matchup is the fact that his damage output, like in single hits, is like significantly higher than Pikachu. His Fair does 13, his down tilt does more damage, he has Nair, he has grabs that do more percent, but at the same time, Mewtwo is a lot worse at punishing Pikachu's disadvantage than vice versa. So Pikachu hits Mewtwo once, you know, only combos him for 15-20%, but the lingering hitboxes of Pikachu make it somewhat really obnoxious for Mewtwo to ever really land safely, in my opinion. You know, I've hit Mewtwo once at like 10%, and then gotten him all the way to 80 just from repetitive disadvantage things. You know, you can edgeguard Mewtwo just by repetitively putting lingering hitboxes where his 2-frame is, or, you know, just not letting him really get around. Like, he can't like side B around the edge for free. I did that versus Waddy at Smash Adelphia. You know, he side B'd and I reacted to that and ran off stage and fair footstooled him, or, you know, I missed the footstool, but he didn't have a double jump, so he just died anyway. So it's really difficult for him to do that. Obviously, Nair footstool is a thing, which is really scary. Pikachu will die very, very early from that. And the biggest problem, in my opinion, with this matchup is the fact that Pikachu doesn't have an incredible answer for down tilt. You pretty much have to like guess when he's going to down tilt and quick attack to like go around the timing of the hitbox and then punish him for it. You know, it's somewhat successful, but, you know, Pikachu short hop forward air won't hit a crouching Mewtwo. Pikachu short hop down air won't hit a crouching Mewtwo, so for the most part, if you try to do that around a forward air, he can just shield it. And again, forward air, relatively safe, but still like not punishing it, so it's kind of obnoxious. You need to really either approach with Thunder Jolts, which is kind of scary because you can just throw a bigger Shadow Ball or a Shadow Ball to neutralize it in the first place, or, you know, start doing like short hop or like full hop quick attack down forwards into him, make him kind of uncomfortable in like right next to, because like the CQC is, in my opinion, in Pikachu's favor. Like when they're right next to each other, Mewtwo's going to want to keep Pikachu in the mid-range, similar to Marth, but the reason, you know, this is harder than Marth is, in my opinion, Mewtwo's damage output's generally higher, and his disadvantage, while still bad, is better, and Pikachu can edgeguard Mewtwo, you know, well, but not as well as Marth, for example, and also the fact that Mewtwo has an incredible kill throw, and doesn't have to rely on tippers in order to get a bunch of kills. You know, I play Abadongo, I played him for like an hour and a half at Tokaigi, and pretty much every single game we played was last hit. He won slightly more than I did, I think, as far as I remember correctly. But, you know, it's definitely, in my opinion, a 50-50 matchup. You know, you can, both characters just mess each other up. You know, I've played, like, every Mewtwo that I've played, it's just like, ooh, I have them at disadvantage, I can take them for a long ride, potentially kill them. You know, Pikachu's height can be somewhat obnoxious for Mewtwo because his grab, actually, it's really, really weird. He can't really grab a lot of the pancake hitboxes, so he has to wait a really, really long time in order to grab them, or even maybe, like, won't be able to, depending on the circumstance, because his dash grabs, like, higher than his standing grab. So if he has to dash grab you, Pikachu's, you know, height can sometimes be fairly good for that. Like if he like lands with like a hard landing or like a back air, then his dash grab will actually miss. So that's a pretty big deal. And yeah, that is going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, social media and PANDA stuff is down below. Look out for the next matchup chart. Obviously, if you want to see the other matchup chart, it's in the playlist. You know, I'll be doing more and more videos soon. You know, I'm doing the PGR things, as you've probably seen that I've uploaded yesterday. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Oh, bye-bye.